Namaskar. Normally, I don't have editorials on Sunday, but I thought I'll come in front of you. I'll present a very beautiful discussion that I had with a man who I worked with almost 25 years. He was my boss in JW Thomson, that is HTA, those days. We worked together in Lintas too. He was the president of Lintas and so on and so forth. A very credible management consultant, very popular management consultant, speaks in a lot of forum, India and internationally. You know, we were speaking on the subject of leadership. And the subject became very interesting because end of the day, how do we see leaders nowadays? I'm talking about political leaders. Today, I think the unique selling proposition of leaders are, some says that, Jai Shri Ram, and the other says Jai Hanuman, and the third says Jai Durga, and the fourth says Jai Om Namah Shiva, and the fifth says Allahu Akbar, and that makes them leaders of their community or of their people. So the basis of leadership has changed from efficiency, will to achieve, service, to just being associated with a community, with a brand of thoughts, or with a brand of faith. Have we lost perspective of what leaders are? Have we lost perspective of what leaders are? That's the question I wanted to ask. And like I said, when we had this discussion, it was very interesting. So I requested him, I said, why don't we do this live on camera, as to what are the 7, 8, 9 qualities of a good leader. And then we thought, let us juxtapose those qualities to the leaders that we know of, that we've seen now, before, and let's figure out, does those qualities match? So that's my conversation this evening. I hope you find it interesting. Slightly longish, but I hope you'll find it interesting, especially people, students who are into management and management studies, and also people enthusiasts, also political enthusiasts. A very learned gentleman and a fabulous management consultant, Tarun Chauhan. Here is the conversation. Enjoy. Tarun, thank you so much for joining me once again. It's indeed a pleasure. You're not at home, right? You're in your farmhouse.
I spend my time here now.
So
Safe
what?
up.
You're farming?
Yeah, lots of things farming. I've got a dairy farm. I've got some horses, so I do some riding. So I do lots of stuff.
Excellent.
Keeps me busy.
Tarun, tell me, who is a good leader?
See, I'll tell you what. I think a lot of people have spent a lot of time defining what a good leader is. Correct?
Yeah.
There are a lot of books. There are lots of literature. I'll have another point of view on that, which doesn't add up really very well. But I will give you my interpretation of what a good leader is, so that it's very away from a lot of things you read. Now, I personally believe, Sujit, that a leader is what he stands, or what is he visible doing. Yeah, because leadership is not a closet job. It's an open job. The whole world watches you. You're seeing it. Like the world is seeing it. I'll give you 2 very good examples just to illustrate my point. Yeah, leadership, unlike anything else, is very first person. It is me, I, therefore what I think. Okay? So there are 2 very good examples of how people define leadership. I think when 26/11 happened in Bombay, and you had Ratan Tata and Krishna Kumar standing at Taj and overseeing the full operation of Taj during that crisis, that defined leadership. He's a chairman of a 2 lakh crore company, but he stands there and he ensures that everyone is taken care of, everyone gets aid, everyone gets help. He's talking to people. That is leadership. When there's a crisis, you're standing there in first person and illustrating your commitment to what has gone wrong. That is leadership. I'll give you another very good example. Okay, Mahindra has launched a car called Scorpio. Lots of people bought it, and then there was this whole media story that Scorpio has a defective vehicle. So what does Anand Mahindra do? He doesn't give a press conference to say that Scorpio is a better car. You start seeing him driving it. So when you see Anand Mahindra driving Scorpio, you get reassured that, okay, if this guy is driving it, it must be a good car. So the point I'm making here, Sujit, is that leadership is first person. You can't outsource it. You can't delegate it. It is, I have to do it.
So what you're technically therefore saying, Tarun, is leadership, a leader should lead from the front. He can't be
Obviously.
sitting in his cabin and strategizing. He has to be there on ground. Correct?
When Osama bin Laden was picked up in Pakistan, Obama was in the war room. We all know the picture. It's one of the most famous pictures. He could have been sleeping in White House, but he was in the war room, overseeing the whole operation. Backing
What's
is
the-
first person. Backing is not third person. You can't delegate backing.
Correct. So leadership, leader leads from the front. What's the next one, Tarun?
So, see, Sujit, there are about 8 or 9 key values that I believe that a leader should bring to the party.
Correct.
Like, for instance, the first one is first person, correct? I explained to you what I mean by that. Second is empathy. I have to feel bad for you. You need to empathize with my problem. You can't be cold to it. A lot of people are very, very cold. A lot of crises we are currently going through is because the Indian corporate leadership is just not talking.
Neither
not
is the
picking up
political
phone.
leadership.
Any leadership, look at political, look at corporate, look at the number of young guys committing suicides. I mean, it's across. We've become a very indifferent nation. And it is everywhere. I find it bizarre. I find it absolutely bizarre.
Value third, Tarun. First is lead from the front. Second is empathy. Value third.
Ownership. It's my problem. How can someone say it is not my problem? It is my problem. If there are 20 lakh employees in the organization, and if something goes wrong in Amazon, the head of Amazon gets involved. That is why Amazon is Amazon. That is why Google is Google. Because these guys are there. They are there. They know what's going on. Their information systems are fantastic. They don't discover things after 6 months when things go out of control. They own the problem. They own the solution, and they own everything else. You can't disown a problem. You can't disown an issue. You can't disown. It doesn't work like that. Well, if you don't want to own it, why should I own it? I mean, you get paid a lot more than I do paid. So why will a mid-level employee take on ownership when the leadership is not doing it?
So is ownership very similar to leading from the front, like you said in the first point?
No. Leading from the front is to stand there. Ownership is to stand up and say, okay, we all messed up. They're two very different things. They're very similar but very different.
You know, I remember a story that APJ Abdul Kalam had said, Tarun. You know, incidentally, when the first time when he was understudy, he was not the director, but he was number 2 or number 3 in the system in ISRO. Incidentally, his boss, you know, the first project that they got involved in, that project went and it crashed. The rocket couldn't take off. But the director of ISRO went in and he faced the press and he took the complete blame on himself. And Dr. Abdul Kalam goes out to say that, you know, the next time when they did it, when they launched that rocket, the rocket was very successful, and that time the director didn't go. He asked Abdul Kalam and team to go and face the press. So he says that's ownership, absolutely. He says ownership. When we failed,
that is ownership. I think you've articulated ownership beautifully. That is ownership. The first one is to be in first person. The problem is mine. The second example you gave is ownership, which is we all do it together. But if something good happens, please take credit. How can you take credit for something that someone else has done?
So fair enough. So we spoke about lead from the front, we spoke about empathy, and we spoke about ownership. What's the fourth one, Tarun?
I think one of my favorite ones is that at leadership, you should be able to predict. I hear this all the time. He's a great leader. He's able to anticipate. I am sorry. When you are at a leadership level, you are supposed to predict. You need to know what's going to happen 5 years from now. You need to know what's going to happen 10 years from now. After working at a leadership position for 20 years, if you don't have the gut and the knowledge to predict a pattern, to predict a change, to predict how consumers are going to behave, then I think you're in the wrong place. Absolutely in the wrong place. I think leaders need to predict. I still remember, Sujit, 2004 or 5, I don't remember the year. Rajiv Bajaj was in an interview with Barkha Dutt on NDTV. And he announced on NDTV that he would stop making scooters. Scooters was his largest product. He used to sell 50,000 scooters per month those days. And I remember asking him, why did he do that? He says, unless me as a leader stop believing that we can only make scooters and not bikes, we will never be a bike company. Because he had predicted that the Indian consumer is going to move from scooter to two-wheeler motorcycles. And by 2008 or 9, India was only a motorcycle market.
He predicted that.
He predicted. He knew. He did his homework. He took a risk.
So, Tarun, what is the next?
Okay, so we've gone through a journey till now of what are the values that leaders stand for. Also, good leaders, Sujit, are known by the team they lead. Leadership, as much as it is lonely, is also holistic. There is no leadership in the world that runs a shop all by themselves. It is not possible. You are not capable. You may be the brightest guy in the world, but you're not capable. It is a holistic thing. If you look at Saurav Ganguly, because he was the best captain India had because he had a great team. Dhoni was a great captain because he had a great team. So you cannot have a leader without a team. You can't be surrounded by midgets. You're not going to win. You're going to lose.
Correct. Tarun, I remember you telling me this long back. I don't know if you remember this, where we were talking about leadership, and you said that a leader can be identified by the leaders he has around him.
Absolutely.
And the leaders he creates around him. One of the examples that I think we spoke then was Prannoy Roy. Do you remember?
NDTV, absolutely.
NDTV.
What a great example.
Absolutely. Prannoy Roy, if today the best of news anchors in this country, the best of journalists in this country are created by Prannoy Roy, be it Barkha Dutt, be it Rajdeep Sardesai, be it even Arnab Goswami. So all of these, right wing, left wing, center wing, everything, the best of talents have been created by him. So he actually created leaders. That was the example. In fact, we spoke about it. Do you remember?
No, I think Prannoy Roy, a lot of people don't give him credit. Prannoy Roy is pretty legendary because one, he taught India how to watch news. Two, which is my next point, which I'm going to talk about, is that Prannoy Roy had this fantastic ability, and it comes from confidence, that he could delegate. And when you delegate is when you create more leaders. If you can't delegate, you can't create leaders. So if you're looking at Arnab Goswami, Rajdeep Sardesai, Srinivasan Jain, Nidhi Razdan, you name them. They have become great news anchors today because Prannoy trained them and delegated to them. Say, run a show. We the people. If he didn't do that, they would have been a club reporter somewhere. He gave them the confidence to go sit in front of the camera and anchor a primetime show. So apart from having your own team, you should also know how to delegate. It's one thing to say I have a great team, but if you don't delegate, what's the point?
Absolutely.
Because no bright people will work for you if you can't delegate. They will even go.
Very, very, very interesting journey. Very interesting journey. Let's go back to the first one. You are saying a good leader is a person who leads from the front. You are saying a good leader should have empathy to understand his people, to understand what his people are going through. Only then can he be a good leader. You say a good leader should take ownership of what he is doing. He should take ownership of what he is doing, and you say that a good leader should be able to predict what he and his team is going to go through in the next 5 years. He should be able to predict where he is going to be, where his country is going to be, and where his team is going to be. So that's important. The fifth thing you said is about team. You said you spoke about how a good leader builds good leaders. So you identify a good leader by looking around him, and you will find a lot of leaders around him. So if he can build good leaders, then he is a good leader. And the last thing you spoke about is how the way he builds good team is by ensuring that he delegates, he empowers these people. Fabulous. So this has been the journey.
I think the most important value a lot of people don't value is good leaders listen.
See, listening, Tarun, I want to dwell a little on this particular subject. You see, listening technically would also mean feedback, isn't it? Feedback from your
Yeah.
consumer,
Yeah.
feedback from your people, feedback from your, you see, somewhere down the line, if you start being arrogant about your own decisions, if you start taking, that it's my way or highway, that itself shows the weakness in the leadership, isn't it?
No, I'm telling you, in all my years of work life, Sujit, some of the things I've learned from big leaders are so simple stuff. Like listening is such a simple stuff. They will not agree with you. I'll give you an example. We were designing the Chroma outlet, the retail outlet for Tatas, correct? So the signage was grey, and the designer had got the internal signage was all multicolor. Yeah, it was all pinks and lavenders and blues. Her logic was that the store facade looks very boring. Not boring, it's very serious. Let's make the inside fun because people come to shop and they're having fun. And we shared this with KK, Krishna Kumar. And I remember he fired us for 2.5 hours. Saying, you guys don't know internal design, you all don't know retail shop, tattoo, you all don't know how to, this is like Walt Disney, what is going on here? He was very upset. But he went with it. The store got launched, it got executed. I remember even now, Sujit, at 7:38, he walked out of that event, came to us and said, it looks really nice. That's where this whole game comes in. You listen, you take a call, and you back it.
Correct, absolutely. Tarun, I too have a story to tell you on this one. Long back when I was an intern, some 20, 30 years back, I had this opportunity to work on one particular project with Mr. Aditya Vikram Birla, Mr. Aditya Birla, and we were doing a project. We were actually making a brochure, a consolidated brochure for them. At that point in time, just casually, one day, I happened to know his executive assistant, who was then his executive assistant. Now he's some top guy. And, there were these people who would come and present projects to Mr. Birla. They would be given 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes to come and present the project. And Mr. Birla would say yes, he would say no, he would say yes, he would say go ahead, he would say no. So, those days I wondered, I said, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, how is he taking such decisions, such huge decisions? Those days, 100 crores, 200 crores, he would just take decision, yes, no, yes, go ahead, no, done. And I asked this executive assistant, I said, 4 minutes, he takes a decision for a 100 crore project. So this executive assistant said, no, you're mistaken. Because Mr. Birla has been reading that file for the last 4 days. And after going through the file, he has asked him to come and he is asking him to go ahead or not to go ahead. I said, ठीक है. If that is the case, if he has already made up his mind, then why is he calling this executive? Why is this calling this top executive to come all the way and sit in front of him? Tarun, very interestingly, what I was told? I was told that at that point in time, Mr. Birla is actually waiting for 1 or 2 points that executive may say that would make him change his mind. So, listening. Absolutely. In that 5 minutes, is there a point that will make Mr. Birla change his decision from a yes to a no or a no to a yes? That's exactly what he's listening. And that's exactly precisely why he calls him and he makes him sit and asks him to talk about the project. So I thought that was fine. Absolutely, Tarun. So listening. What a quality. Very correct. Yeah. A leader should be a good listener. Tarun, going ahead. What next?
I think it's used by a lot of people, but I think trust is a very important thing.
Yes.
The problem with a lot of leaders is that they stop trusting people. Yeah. When you stop trusting people, that's a simplest recipe to fail. And you will get cheated. That is the reality of life. We are not living in an ideal world. We are living in a world where things go wrong. People will mislead you. People will, tell you stories. There are times you make a wrong judgmental call on certain decisions and things can go wrong. But you cannot not trust people. You have to trust. Every relationship is 100% till they fail you.
Correct.
Till they fail you, it's 100%. The problem with a lot of people is that they start with 70%. You have to start with 100%. Narayan Murthy, we keep talking about Narayan Murthy. Look at the way he's delegated to his people and it disappeared. Where is Narayan Murthy? You don't hear him, you don't see of him, nothing. He trusted his people.
Tarun, look at it. It is actually quite interesting. Huh? It is actually quite interesting. If you see the path we are coming in, every quality is interlinked. No quality, no
Yeah.
leadership quality is in isolation. Because if
Arey,
you have to lead from the front, you have to have empathy for your people. And if the only way you'll have empathy for your people, if you take ownership of what you're doing, and the only way you can take ownership, have empathy for your people and lead from the front, if you can predict what is going to happen. And the fact that, you build people who are leaders, because that's the confidence that you have. Once you can predict what is happening and once you have your team behind you, then you want to build leaders. You want to build your number twos and number threes who will take over your chair someday. You would be happy to do that, and therefore you delegate, and therefore to delegate, to understand, you have to listen to people, and finally, if all this without trust will just not happen. So technically speaking, each of these qualities are actually interlinked. Each of these 8 qualities are very interlinked. Very interesting. Tell me.
I did not put it the way. I did not think the way you're saying it. I think you're saying it very nicely. Yeah, but it all adds up.
Absolutely good. So this is good, Tarun. Tarun, what is the 9th point?
I think that my last point and the 9th point, which will also address your political question. I think leadership is damn lonely. It is supremely lonely. A lot of times, a lot of decisions you have to take on your own. You can't delegate that. It is extremely frustrating sometimes. You're talking to yourself, you go for your walks, you read a book, you listen to music, but the buck stops with you. It ends there. You cannot say, I did not think he would not do it. It doesn't work. If there's a crisis, if there's a problem, if there's something going wrong, it's your neck on the line. And if something good gets cut, it's a very, very lonely job. And there are hardly anyone you can talk to. There are very few people you can talk to, because most of the world is reporting to you. Half the other world wants your job. So you're actually you're all by yourself.
Correct. Very correct. So, Tarun, one more point that you just mentioned, which I thought we could add into this quality, was the fact that a lot of leaders, and we've seen this, we know who we are talking about, we've seen this, and I'm not talking about Narendra Modi, if that's what a lot of my audience will think. I'm talking about our professional lives. We have seen leaders who comes into an organization and they want to change the organization overnight. They want to change the organization overnight. They want, new policies, new laws. Whatever has been happening before is all crap. In fact, to a certain extent, I think, now come to think of it, even Narendra Modi had done that. आप planning commission को change करो, उसको नीति आयोग बोलो, इसको change करो, उसको ये change करो, उसको. See, somewhere down the line, don't you think leadership is something that you slip into rather than you bang and, force yourself into? Isn't that true?
So let me answer your question slightly differently. Correct? At the core of any good leadership, is the respect for an institution. If you don't respect an institution, you should not be a leader. Tata's is an institution. If you want to make changes, there are ways of doing it. If you want to change the way India runs, there's a way of doing it. There is a planning commission, there is a Supreme Court, there is a election commission, there is whatever. But look at the media narrative now. Because somebody somewhere does not respect institutions. The moment you start respecting institutions, you will start respecting processes. The moment you start respecting processes, you will start respecting history. So this whole thing of कल क्या हुआ गलत था आज से मैं from today I'm going to change the world. अरे boss, it doesn't work that way.
Tell me, can you think of any political leader that fits this bill?
Currently none. We have too many bits and pieces players.
I'm sure currently none.
Actually, my last favorite leader was Manmohan Singh. Out of 10, he had 4, but those 4 were A++.
Which were the 4 that you
They were
think
not,
he
think
had?
empathy. I think Manmohan had huge amount of empathy.
Yes.
He was first person.
Yes.
He was first person. He took a lot of ownership and he anticipated economic stories of our country.
Correct. Prediction was 91, good.
Sorry? Yeah, 91 he predicted where India will go. 2018 tak we were doing the same thing. I think Manmohan Singh was a great listener. I don't know much about his delegation and stuff like that, but I don't know him personally very well. But at a broad level, I think these are the 4 or 5 things that he really did extremely well.
I want to talk to you about Narasimha Rao.
Oh yeah, another great leader.
Let's talk about Narasimha Rao, because I think Narasimha Rao led from the front. He came in a situation when things were very different. I don't know about his empathy. I may not be able to comment much, but ownership he 100% took.
Yeah.
He 100% took ownership. I think prediction. Also, I think we should give him marks because he had a Manmohan Singh who.
No, he is the one who made all this happen.
Correct, absolutely. But as a team builder, I think he has built the stars of India.
Yeah.
If you talk about Manmohan Singh, the P. Chidambarams, these are people who he built. He had an all-star team in his cabinet, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So as far as delegation, sorry,
and he was really understated.
Absolutely. As far as delegation is concerned, I think he was a fabulous delegating. He was fabulous at delegating. He delegated, the kind of power he gave him. He empowered Manmohan Singh to do that, take that decision, and the rest is history. Let's talk about Rahul Gandhi.
So, from what little I see of Rahul Gandhi, I think he comes across as a nice guy. Unfortunately, leadership is not about nice people. It's about being human, but you can't be a nice guy. You have to take some tough calls. I don't think so. He likes to take tough calls. I also think, like you said somewhere in your conversation, I don't think so. He does enough homework. He needs to do a lot more homework. And if I have to give him one tip, he needs to surround himself with good people.
So what he really needs to do is he really needs to create that team of leaders around him. That's something that he really needs to do. And to a certain extent, I think rest of it, I think empathy, whatever little one sees, one doesn't know him personally, but he comes through as a nice person. So that's there. Ownership, again, blow hot, blow cold. Sometimes he's all there.
Blow hot, no, Sujit. I don't think so. Blow hot. I think the problem with Rahul Gandhi is that he becomes visible and invisible. I don't know what he's doing when he's not visible. He could be doing organization work. He could be doing other things. But it doesn't work like that.
No, I am talking as a pure layman. What I see sitting
both of
here.
us on the same page.
Yeah, I see him sometimes all there, and one is very impressed with what he does. But then I see him absolutely lost. He just vanishes, and then he's not there. I'm saying, see, the point is, what I'm trying to make is, he has a lot of these qualities. He has a lot of these leadership qualities, but somewhere down the line, I think a little more commitment and a little more focused on these qualities.
And I think somewhere where he also needs to pick up is that he needs to start trusting people a lot more.
Correct.
He's got bad experiences. He trusted the wrong people, but doesn't mean the world is bad.
Correct.
Just because you burnt your fingers with the wrong people, you can't blame the world for it. Your judgment was wrong.
That coterie thing, he should go get out of that coterie thing. I agree. Let's come to our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. Let's just kind of see how he falls. In fact, again, a lot of these qualities he has. A lot of these qualities. Like, for instance, one thing you can't take away from him is he leads from the front.
I doubt.
At least till recently he was leading from the front.
Leading from the front is to be where the problem is.
Correct. So I think he was there everywhere the problem is. From demonetization to
that is a problem he created. That's not a problem. Problem I'm talking of currently what India is going through. I don't see anything coming from there.
Fair enough. So we'll agree.
I am with Sujit. There are a lot of leadership issues, global issues. But what India is going through is very personal. People like you and I are losing family. I am losing family.
That's now. See, things have changed now. I'm saying we should give him, let's look at him from 2014 to 2020. 2021, things have changed, Tarun. A lot of these things will not be now, will not fit him now. A lot of these things we'll see him fall short. But I'm saying from 2014 to 2020, that's where I thought, because I always thought that he was projecting himself. He was overexposing himself, because there was as if there's only one person taking decisions in this country, and that was Mr. Narendra Modi. There was nobody else seen taking decisions in this country, and that is where I said that he is leading from the front, because I don't see anybody behind him. He was the only person there. So call it leading from the front, or call it. Sorry,
whose fault is that?
No, correct. I'm saying that. I'm not disputing that. But let's move on. Empathy-wise, I think, rightly said recently, that has been something that,
But it was never there.
huh?
It was never there.
It was, yeah. So
When
that
demonetization happened, India suffered. Where was he?
perception-wise, empathy is something that he really needs to work on. And ownership, again, I don't think he's one of those guys who would comment out and say that, listen, I messed up, but I will come back and I will fight again. I don't think that's a quality he has. Prediction. I don't think he's a great predictor. We saw that in...
No, but you get people around you who can predict, no?
Correct. Team building. Oh my God, this is going south, Tarun, as we go one by one. Team building, I don't think, except for Mr. Amit Shah, I don't think he has any leaders that he has built per se around him. So that's another one. Delegation.
What, Sujit, I keep giving this example. I give it to everyone. A good organization is known by the people at the leadership level.
Tarun, I will end our conversation with one more person, and that is Mahatma Gandhi. Let's try and connect these qualities to Mahatma Gandhi. Possibly one of the greatest soul that was born in India. Possibly one of the greatest leaders that the world has ever seen, in a way. Yeah, he always led from the front. There is no two questions. Nobody can deny that. I don't think anybody had more empathy than the Mahatma himself. That is why he was called the Mahatma. I think he took ownership of everything he did. He took ownership of everything he did.
He got hit first.
Prediction, I think he predicted. He predicted that the only way we will get freedom is by non-violence. You see, a lot of people don't understand.
Conviction of that.
I beg your pardon?
And conviction of that.
And conviction of that. Oh yeah, absolutely correct. And conviction of that. Look at it. Today, every leader, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, every leader that we talk about is built by by Mahatma Gandhi, my apologies. So he has built a team. And delegation, I think he was fabulous at it. Because he never wanted any position, he never took any position.
And I want to say something here, since you raised the subject now.
Yeah.
Correct, Sujit? And I want to really say it, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. You have to give me this 1 minute. Correct? I don't think so. A man like him walked in this universe ever. And I don't think so a man like him will ever walk in this universe. Correct?
Yes.
I find a lot of new narrative which is very anti him. If as a nation, if we don't have the grace and the dignity to not keep quiet if you don't know, I think it is shameful.
Absolutely.
People who know can talk, people who are not aware must just keep quiet. Because a lot of what you and I are doing today is thanks to that man.
I completely understand. I completely agree. I'm sorry. I completely agree to what you're saying. Tarun, going ahead, he was a fabulous listener. He was a fabulous listener. He was he would even listen to a child.
He listens to goats, yaar.
Yeah, he was a fabulous listener. Okay, he trusted his own assassin. He trusted his people. He refused to. There's a story that Mr. Vallabhbhai Patel wanted. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel wanted him to have security. He wanted him to have Z plus those days, whatever that security. He refused. He said, "Nay." He says, "I will not. Nobody will do anything to me. They're my people." He trusted his life to people. What more trust can we talk about? And in some point he was lonely. He was lonely leader. He was all lonely, in some way. And respecting of institutions, I think he manifests respect. So if you actually put it.
Also in the middle of all that complication, a lot of Pandit Nehru's creations are thanks to Mahatma Gandhi's inspiration.
Correct. A lot of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's creations are thanks to Mahatma Gandhi's inspiration.
A lot of institutions Pandit Nehru created after independence, education, Supreme Courts,
correct,
are all inspired by Mahatma. And if you read his literature, it is there. What I am saying is not anecdotal gossip. It is truth.
Correct. Tarun, how many people he has inspired? He has inspired a statesman like Nehru. He has inspired a poetess like Sarojini Naidu.
Nelson Mandela.
He's world mein to I think one can't even name how many people he has inspired. So anyway, a fun discussion, Tarun. Fun discussion, and we proved our point. We proved that this is what a leadership quality is, because look at Mahatma Gandhi. I mean, I think he's the one person who imbibes each and every quality that we narrated down. Each and every quality that we narrated down. What a
He's a complete package.
Anyway, fun talking to you, Tarun. Thank you so much for this time. Thank you so much for this time.
Thank you. All the best. God bless.
We'll do another one on some other topic very soon.
And please be safe.
Thanks, Tarun.
Bye-bye.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.